this lesson is to create a monkey tap with sound for the iOS. I'll give you a little bit of background first. I'm going to read from the notes, okay? Commercial files are often compressed in formats such as MP3, but when a program is algorithmically generating waveforms, an uncompressed format is much more convenient. The most basic technique, which is supported by all the platforms, is called pulse code modulation, or PCM. Despite the fancy name, it's quite simple, and it's the technique we're going to use. Okay, so let's get started. We're going to use techniques we've learned in that last program on dependency services. And so I've made me a copy. I'm going to copy this, and you might can do this too. And then I'm going to paste it. This is the base program that we've used, created in the last lesson to add our Android project to it. But in this lesson, we're only going to do for iOS. I made a copy, and you can make a copy in case you mess up. You can, delete it out and start over. And and I've also got the code already typed in, so that we can copy and paste it if we need it. And I'll explain some of it to you, and some of it you don't really need. It's kind of more complex, and if you need to use the code, you're going to get this project so that you can just do it. So let's open this. Open it with Visual Studio 2019 because I've got more than one version on my PC. Yep, I'm just making sure that recording was started. And beware if like iOS decides to update the version and you don't stop it, well, you're going to have to do a lot of work to get the things working again, but you shouldn't have that problem. So, okay, first thing I want to do is, I had this called main page. Well, I do not want to stay main page. I want to call it monkey tap page just because I don't like main page for what we're going to do. So let's say monkey tap. And then we're going to open it and we're going to refactor it. So right click, rename, and I'm going to call this monkey tap page, and I'm just going to have it change all these names for me. Okay, so then we can save that. So the next thing we want to do is, I want to create a monkey tap with sound page, and I want to inherit monkey tap page. That is the reason that I did not want to leave it main page. But before we do anything else, before I forget, let's change this to monkey tap with sound that we have not created yet, but we will right now. Then when we're done, let's add a new item. And this is a page, but since we're inheriting from the other one and not adding anything new, it's just code for functionality, we don't need a page. A class is good enough. So let's say monkey tap. And call it monkey tap with sound page. And then after it comes up, we're going to inherit monkey tap page. Okay, and so we might want to add Xamarin Forms to that. But we'll see if we need to. I'm going to show you this other one that I did. There we go. I'm going to just copy this in. Basically, we're adding a constant integer of a duration is 5,000 or 500, and you can change that and play around with it. And then we've got some frequency codes in an array that we're going to use. We're going to override the flash box view that we had in the monkey tap page, and we're going to override the end game. And basically, it's going to play a sound, and then it's going to go ahead and do what it did in the monkey tap page. That's what this base dot flash box view means. And so let's just copy this in, save a lot of typing errors that I would do. And we'll copy that in. The next thing we're going to do, you'll notice that the sound player gives us an error. We're going to create our sound player class. So let's do a right click, add a new item, and then I want sound player. Sound player, that's what we're going to call it. And we're going to add it and make this public. And this has got a lot of codes in it also. So let's just go ahead and copy this code in too. We're going to need to add in some Marian forms to our using clauses, and then we're just going to add this method. And all this does is just generate the frequencies for us. Now this dependency service, we are going to get an error on that because we need it. We'll be using that in the iOS part of it. So right now it's going to give us an error because we don't have this iPlatform sound player yet. Let's just paste that in rather than me typing it. So let's add Xamarin Forms up here also. Okay, so now we don't have one error. The next thing we're going to add, create, got the sound player. We need to create this interface, the iPlatform sound player. Right here it is. To get that, we can pull up the arrows to see what we've got. Right click, add a new item, type interface up here. We're going to name this iPlatform sound player. And the only thing we're going to do with this is add a play sound method. Uh-oh. Probably should have copied this in too, but we will type it. We have a sampling rate that we're going to send to it and some PCM data to create the sound. Okay, and that's all we need for that. Now we need to create the iOS class called Platform Sound Player. Okay, and we'll do this in the iOS section. And that's just a class. and it's called Platform Sound Player. And it's going to implement that iPlatform Sound Player. Let's make it public. And let's add Zamarian Forms. And we're also going to use this AV foundation. That's for the sound. And this is going to implement the iPlatform Sound Player. Looks like I named that wrong, but we can change that. Let's go ahead. This iPlatform Sound Player 4. Let's rename that. We don't have to, but it looks bad. I'm going to take that off. And then I'm going to right click rename. It looks like it's not going to let me do that. We'll see. Okay, looks like it's fine. So we've got our platform sound player, and we have to use the dependency service on this one. Let's see if I get the code all right. And rather than me typing it, I think I would prefer to copy and paste it. Okay, let's just copy that. And then we will copy the insides of the class. Let's copy this line. Okay. And then, I don't like this red thing here, but that's okay. We'll see what all happens after we get all the code in. Okay. Probably because I renamed it, but that's okay. We'll get it worked out. So on the iPlatform, the iOS part, this is the code that's going to create the sound for us that's specific to iOS. So I'm going to copy that. I'm going to paste it in here. Okay. So let's see what's going on here. Seek origin. We didn't do iOS. System. Or IO. See if we get more errors. So let's save all this. And I think that's all we need. Let's rebuild everything. Rebuild. And then when we get done, we're going to rebuild the monkey tap, and then we're going to run it. See what kind of sounds we have. They're not that great at sounds, but they're sounds. And it's something that you might want to use. So. You ready to go get a sandwich on? Okay, so now let's rebuild the first one. Says it's now we're going to run it. Make sure that our emulator comes up with it for us. Oh, I had a terrible time with the emulators too. But anyway, it got worked out. You'll discover sometimes you just have to make it work. You don't have anyone to ask. See. Says it's got some kind of conflict. Let's see what's going on. Maybe not. It might still be going. I'm going to put this in until it comes up. I'm going to put this on pause. Okay, that was taking too long to build. So I killed everything and I brought our project back up. We're going to clean the solution. I could have done this off the the tape, but I wanted to show you. Sometimes you just have these problems, have to deal with it. So I'm going to clean the solution. We're going to rebuild the first one. If it will let us, it's still cleaning. Going to rebuild it. We already rebuilt the iOS one. We can rebuild again. 1 succeeded, 0 failed. Let's go ahead and rebuild this one too. So it's still rebuilding. You can tell at the bottom here what it's doing. And this green line, it just never did, before I killed everything, it just never did get past, you know, about a quarter of the way. So now it says 2 succeeded, 0 failed. So let's try to run it. Got everything rebuilt, got off and back on. So far I'm not seeing any errors. Hopefully it will stay that way. Okay. I'm going to put it on pause while it's starting because it's taking a while. Okay, it's coming up for us. And when I say us, I mean me and you, because you're going to be doing this too. And you're going to get the project to help you out. Let's begin. Do you hear that sound? Yeah. Now I'll go. It, so, alrighty. So, we've got the iOS part working. Next lesson, we're going to work on the Android. So, I will see you then.